I think we need to break up, she said. Suddenly, I was stunned by her unexpected words. In my right hand, I was holding a diamond ring, and she was looking bitterly at it. What do you mean by breaking up, Emma? You told me you wanted to marry me. That's why I'm so sorry. I've fallen for someone else. I'm very sure that you'll find someone better than me, and someone who deserves that ring more than I do. I felt like crying, but nothing came out. The girl who just broke up with me had tears brimming in her eyes and a pained expression on her face. Goodbye. Her voice echoed into the distance. The alarm on my phone went off, and I woke up feeling tired. My name is Ryan. I got fired from my job last week. Lately, I keep having this dream, a dream where an old girlfriend of mine breaks up with me. It's been 10 years since that actually happened, and I thought I had moved on. Why now, all of a sudden? Maybe it's because the fact that I was fired last week still hurts. When something bad happens, unpleasant memories come flooding back. Seriously, I can't believe there still are some companies that prohibit employees from working a second job. It was my fault, but anyway, that was why I got fired, for doing another job. But that was something I had to do, as it was like a passion for me. Well, what do you do? I went to a few employment agencies to sign up. After that, since I had some time in the afternoon, I went to my favorite cafe to eat pancakes and thought about a present for my girlfriend. Of course, not for the girl from the dream. Fortunately, I've been blessed with a new girlfriend, and we've been together for just over 3 years. Unlike when I was with Emma, this time, I already got an answer to my proposal. I didn't want to be dumped at the very last minute like before. I noticed there was a new text message on my phone. I'll help you with the preparations tomorrow. I'll be there by 9:00 a.m. Love you. Reading the message, I smiled, remembering what my plan was for the next day. Okay, can't wait to see you. Love you too. I replied to the message, pulling myself together. The next day was her birthday, and also the day of my first solo exhibition. I rented space at an art gallery in a shopping district to display the jewelry I made. I started making jewelry in college as a way to relieve stress, but I never expected it would reach the level where I could sell them online. Then that online business page was discovered by a colleague, and that was how my boss found out about my second job. Even though I lost my main job, I was making a decent income from my jewelry business, so I wasn't worried at all. I just never thought about making it my main job, but this exhibition might be a good opportunity to seriously consider that. With that thought, I felt even more motivated. The next day, when I arrived at the gallery, Sarah was already there discussing with the person in charge and preparing for my exhibition. Ryan, you're late. Sorry, Sarah. I overslept a bit. I thought you were a morning person, Sarah said, her surprise making me feel guilty. I couldn't possibly tell her that I overslept because I had a dream about Emma. Just got lost in thought and stayed up late last night. Are you still worried about being fired? Yes, something like that. Don't worry about it. It is what it is. Now you can openly do what you love. To cheer me up, Sarah smiled warmly. For a moment, her smile reminded me of Emma, which made me feel uneasy. This ring is really pretty. Suddenly, while arranging the display items, Sarah spoke up. Following her gaze, I saw her looking at a diamond ring prominently displayed on the shelf. That ring brought back the painful memories of the past. That was the first ring I ever made. Then she said, I think we should break up. I was rendered stunned by her abrupt and unexpected statements. Her eyes were bitter as she stared at the diamond ring I was holding in my right hand. What do you mean by separating, Emma? You said you wanted to marry me, so that's why I'm really sorry. I have another person in my heart. I'm very sure you'll find someone better than me, and they deserve that ring more than I do. Though I wanted to cry, I held back. The girl who had just broken up with me had tears in her eyes and a sorrowful expression on her face. Goodbye. Her voice was audible on the other end. When the alarm on my phone went off, I woke up tired. My name is Ryan. My job ended suddenly last week. Recently, I've been dreaming that I broke up with my ex-girlfriend. That was actually 10 years ago, and by then I thought I had moved on. Why suddenly and why now? Maybe because I'm still in pain from getting fired a week ago. Unwanted memories come flooding back after a bad experience. I find it incredible that some companies still prohibit their staff members from working 2 jobs. I was fired for doing another job, even though it was my fault. I had to do it, though, since it was something I felt passionate about. So, what is the next step? I registered with a few different job agencies. After that, I had some free time in the afternoon, so I went to my favorite cafe to eat pancakes and consider what to get my girlfriend. Obviously not for the girl in the dream. I've been lucky enough to discover someone new, and we've been dating for a little over 3 years now. Unlike when I was with Emma, I've had a reaction to my proposal already this time. I didn't want to be abruptly dumped like I did before. I saw there was a recent text message on my phone. I'll help you prepare for tomorrow. I will be here at 9:00 a.m. I treasure you. I smiled, remembered my plans for the next day, and read the note. Okay, it's great to see you. Once I composed myself, I murmured, love you too. The following day was her birthday and my first solo exhibition. I reserved space at a mall art gallery to display the jewelry I made. When I initially started college, making jewelry was how I decompressed, but I never imagined that it would grow to the point where I could sell them online. My coworker saw the company's webpage and informed my supervisor about my second job. I was still making a good income from my jewelry business, so I wasn't worried at all, even though I lost my main job. I've just never really paid much attention to it, but this program would be a great excuse to start. That thought inspired me even more. Sarah was at the gallery chatting to the management and getting everything ready for my show when I arrived the next day. Ryan, you're late. I'm sorry, Sarah. I overslept by a little. I thought you were a morning person, Sarah said, which hurt my feelings. I couldn't possibly tell her that I had overslept due to a dream about Emma. Just got lost in thought and stayed up late last night. Are you still worried about being fired? Yes, something like that. It shouldn't worry you. It's the nature of the beast. Now you are free to follow your desires. Sarah smiled warmly at me to lift my spirits. Her smile made me think briefly of Emma, and that made me uncomfortable. This ring is really pretty. As Sarah was arranging the display items, she spoke up out of the blue. She was looking closely at a diamond ring that was tastefully displayed on the shelf when I followed her gaze. With that ring came the painful memories of the past. That was the first ring I ever made. Emma's father lowered his eyes without taking a sip of his coffee when it arrived. Emma died a few days ago. I was unable to understand his statements and was left in complete amazement. Sarah, who was seated beside me, opened her eyes wide as well, as if she was speechless. What are you trying to say? How is Emma doing? When I did eventually manage to speak, my voice quivered. She suffered from a fatal sickness. It began a decade ago. The doctor informed her that she wouldn't have much time left to live as the disease was already advanced when it was found. She broke up with you for that reason. She was lying about falling in love with someone else. I had no idea Sarah would be seeing you. Ryan, did Emma suffer all this time and decide to end our relationship to keep me out of her medical battle? Suddenly making sense of it, I remembered the anguished look on her face as she said me by. Even so, it didn't feel genuine. Stunned, Sarah next to me started speaking slowly. I was aware of Emma's illness, but I had no idea it was so severe that she had died. Though first given only 6 months to live, she battled for 10 years. Sarah, it appears that you were unaware of the news that we had shared with your parents. Sarah cried silently, and I, along with Emma's father, pondered about her in silence. Sarah's weeping stopped after approximately 5 minutes of stillness, at which point I said to her, "So, are you related to Emma?" "We are cousins. Yes. Due to her health issues and the distance between our residences, I haven't been able to see her recently. But when we were younger, We were practically sisters. I see why you looked a little bit like Emma. Do you believe that? Our family members also frequently mention that. Indeed, they shared a similar appearance. Emma told me about her ex-boyfriend, with whom she was still in love, a while back. He crafted a ring just for her, but due to her illness, they had to end their relationship before she could receive the ring. You never seemed like that to me. Honey, I was just wondering whether that ring looked like the one Emma told me about when I saw it earlier. Perhaps as Sarah stared at the ring, she sensed something. When Emma's father gave me a regretful look, I thought to myself, I came here today to ask you if I could borrow that ring to put in Emma's coffin. He showed me my exhibition flyer. Emma thought about you nonstop. She stalked you on social media and even made covert purchases of your jewelry using a friend's identity. She asked me to place the ring in her coffin after she passed away after crying when she saw a picture of it on this flyer. How come Emma didn't tell me? It meant a lot to me to hear her father express her actual feelings, and I now knew why she had to end our relationship. But at the same time, I was overcome with guilt when I considered how Emma had suffered all those years on her own without my knowledge. My tears started to fall freely when Sarah's eventually stopped. Emma's funeral is when? It's slated for tomorrow, he answered. For that reason, may I ask? I realize this is a lot to ask, but I would like to purchase the ring from you. If it's not feasible, is there any way I could borrow it to at least place it in her casket at the funeral? All I want to do is grant her final desire. He gave me a serious look. He came to see me the day before his beloved daughter's funeral, only to grant her final desire after she passed away. I took his father's hand in mine. Kindly carry it with you. Nevertheless, I made it for him. I'm grateful. His eyes were overflowing with tears, like though something had given way within of him. Sarah and I took a taxi to the assigned funeral home the following day. I wonder if this ring will make Emma happy. Naturally, she will be. Sarah grasped my hand and gave me a supportive squeeze while I expressed my doubts. The small case holding the ring was in the inside pocket of my suit. Emma was going to get it from me. I held Emma's hand tightly as I saw her again after a decade apart. It's been a long time. Emma remained silent as she lay in the casket. Her face remained the same since I departed, but her body had grown weak and emaciated. The lasts are, today, I brought you a ring. I apologize for the delay. Please don't cry. This ring will be by your side to protect you from now on. The diamond within the ring case shone brilliantly as I carefully opened it. I removed it from the case and set it inside the casket. Emma's father had arranged with the funeral home to have the ring placed in the casket with the understanding that it would be taken out shortly after, even though it didn't seem like it could be cremated with her. Following the funeral, everything went according to plan, and I had one more chance to say goodbye to Emma. Jess, Emma is truly gone. We'll never see her again. Sarah was Emma's relative, so she would be there at the cremation, but I was going to order a taxi and get out. I went to the taxi booth with Sarah. Are you certain you won't stick around to the very end? I have to go home. I already said goodbye to Emma. I have to do something right now. In what way can you visit my home tomorrow? I have something I would want to give you. At my words, she smiled sweetly, if a little uncomfortably. Sure, I'd be delighted to. I've been working on a ring for Sarah in my home workshop. My original intention was to complete it the evening of the event and present it to her today. To be clear, though, I believe you are aware that I have been crafting a ring specifically for you, and I did not consider you at all during the process. I was a little embarrassed to say it aloud. She didn't hide her happiness and gripped my hand tightly till the taxi arrived, whether or not she knew what was going through my mind. Outside the window, the view grew farther away as the taxi pulled away. Emma, goodbye. I wondered if she'd gone gently to heaven. I was worried for a second, but then I knew she was okay. It was Emma's lovely smile that I finally remembered, not the dejected one from my dreams, as I looked up at the clear sky overhead and the rising smoke from the cremation.